Okay, so we got Bogle, we have an enchantment. Not a great hand, but a good enough hand. We're going to keep this. I think this is better than a random 6. We have lands, creatures, and auras, and we just need to draw some more auras off the top to be able to enact our plan. Okay, so we're fighting against Wall Combo. This used to be a bit of a meme back in the day, but nowadays it is the real deal. They got some cascade creatures, so they're able to do some impressive things with their large amounts of mana and tend to get out of control quite quickly. So we've got some pretty bad draws here. We're looking for auras, but we haven't found any. But our opponent didn't do anything on their turn 2. So I'm thinking we're in a fairly similar situation. Wow, that's awful for them. Okay. I'm going to want to play the Rancor here because the Ancestral Mask isn't actually going to do anything. So we'll play Rancor, Khalni Garden, and then we'll attack all. Should be able to get 4 damage in here. And opponent still is not able to play their cards. Too bad for them. Okay, so this is going to give our dude +2/+2 in first strike, and this is going to give our dude +2/+2. So either way, both cards are the same, but we're not able to play both cards. I think we want to just put the Ancestral Mask onto the Slippery Bogle here. I think it's the most mana efficient thing we can do. We'll just keep on suiting up the 1. No need to diversify, I don't think. Should get in for 6. And they still have nothing. Too bad for them. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. So we could Heliod's Pilgrim, but we wouldn't really be able to get much of anything out of it. So we'll just Ethereal Armor this Bogle here. And this might even prompt a concession. No, not quite yet. I think this is... No, they have to block the Slippery Bogle here, so they should concede. So what are we going to do against walls? I'm honestly not too sure. I haven't really examined the matchup. So thinking about it, we have a plethora of mana-producing creatures with a large amount of toughness, and then we have cascade creatures, I believe is what they're doing now. Maybe Essence Harvest? I think that's honestly the only card we can really bring in. We might bring in Crimson Acolyte. They might have access to Cannonade. But I'm not sure if I should bring in the Acolyte without seeing the Cannonade first. Ram Through seems pretty decent. Ledgewalker seems great. Rancor I think is really important. I think we'll just get rid of the Unbridled Growth, which is our worst land aura, and bring in the Essence Harvest, and we'll just leave it at that. The Essence Harvest is mostly to get in those last points of damage through their field, because their field could be quite impressive. We need to mulligan this. We have no creature besides the token from the Khalni Garden. I'm actually wondering if that might be enough. If we're putting Ethereal Armor and Ancestral Mask on it, an opponent is going to be taking out their any kind of interaction they have. It's super risky, but like it might really pay off. Get an abundant growth off the top. Well, we want to play the Khalni Garden so we can get that plant to start attacking. This is so weird. I'm going to suit up that plant. Good morning, Crown. How you doing today? Okay, Armadillo Cloak too. So we're going to want to... I'm doing okay, Crown. Thanks for asking. We're going to want to play the Abundant Growth on the Khalni Garden. So we'll play Forest, put the Abundant Growth on the Garden, and then we'll put Ethereal Armor on the plant. Plant will be a 2/3 first strike. So not quite strong enough to attack through the Caretaker. But next turn, watch out. We could also just play Plains. It basically does the same thing. Next turn we can put the Armadillo Cloak or the Ancestral Mask on our plant, and that really changes things. The Armadillo Cloak should be pretty good. What do we draw? Ooh, a Gladecover Scout. Too bad we didn't do that the other way. We could have played the Scout and then put all our tokens on that. We can still make a big plant and then start on the Scout next turn. No point in attacking, they just block with the Caretaker here, and they bounce. Mole Drifter. They only had one card in hand. Now they're up to 3. They're still able to do tricks with their Courier and Rangers. But they've already played a land this turn, so they won't be able to trick too much. Yeah, Walls has Walls has gotten pretty good with Cascade. So my choices here are to play the Gladecover Scout or to play the Armadillo Cloak. I'm actually interested in just sticking with the original plan here. Play Armadillo Cloak this turn, and then we might start looking at suiting up the Scout later. But we might just want to put all of our eggs in this one basket on the plant. I really don't think the opponent's going to have much in the way of removal. So this will give the creature a bit of a boost. From a 2/3 to a 5/6. And then next turn we'll put Ancestral Mask on it, and we'll really start going. So if you haven't seen that before, Armadillo Cloak does not have Lifelink. It gives your creature, whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. Technically, it is Lifelink, but it's a different thing. What's going on here? They want white mana specifically. Oh, okay, it's just an annoyed Allosaur. And I say just, they're going to cascade into something. Not too much of a threat there. They got a 6/5. Trample Reach. But our dude has First Strike, So it would be able to kill the Altisaur before the Altisaur could deal damage. And we're going to be putting Ancestral Mask onto the plant as well. So we're going to outgrow that dinosaur with our little plant. Oh, and we got a Rancor too. I think we're still going to be better off putting the Ethereal Armor, though, onto the plant. We already have Trample through the Armadillo Cloak. We got a 20, 21, First Strike Trample, Pseudo Lifelink. And it's a plant. It grew pretty large. They can survive this turn, but they got to block with the Altisaur and the Caretaker. So their whole turn, we just killed it. And we gained 20 life. Now they could do something pretty impressive here if they destroyed all white or green enchantments. Biggest plant. That's right. This is, what you call that? Mega Flora. Hey. That's what I like to see. This hand seems okay. Not great, but it could definitely improve. The ram through here could be pretty good. We're definitely going to keep. I mean, the hand has, it's got possibilities. I'm not too sure, honestly, Crown. I know some very general things about the deck, but I don't have a very good concept of exactly what is in there. I could absolutely see some number of fall from favor. You have access to blue mana, so why wouldn't you play the best card in the format? I really want to name white with Utopia Sprawl, but that wouldn't allow me to double or triple spell next turn. Just doesn't seem very smart to have a Utopia Sprawl and not have access to white mana. The Rancor here isn't actually going to do us too much good. Opponent might stomp us down. Alright. We're in a bit of trouble here. Stompy is going wide. They have plenty of creatures that are much more impressive than ours. What do we get off the top? Another creature. Not what we need. I think we probably ram through the Skulk so we can prevent some of that damage from coming in. They do have access to Vine's mana here. I'm wondering if I should do it now or later. Probably now is the best time to do it, so they can't Vines and pump their creature and make me cry when they attack me for super damage. I'm not going to attack with my Slippery Bogle. They could just block it with any one of their critters and I lose my Bogle. It wouldn't actually be that bad now that I think about it. I would have gotten the Rancor back. Probably should have attacked. I get the Rancor back here. I'm going to trade with that Metal Sentinel. Get it out of here. Trade my 1-drop for yours. I've got other creatures. And another critter. Well, at least this one is unblockable. And we'll end our turn here. We are out of resources. We drew too many lands. I guess we could attack with one of our scouts. They want to trade with Courier and Ranger, that's fine. Oh, shit. That was a punt. Oh, I'm stupid. Just the dumbest. Alright, we got a chump here. If their last card is Vines of Vastwood, we would just die. And Caves of Temptation. So we're dead. Well, we could get the Ledgewalker up to a 5, so we could at least trade. But then they got an Elephant as well. So are we supposed to attack with the Ledgewalker here and hope we don't die? Because trading doesn't seem like a very good idea. If they have vines, we're dead. Lifelink. No, just a Utopia Sprawl. Alright. Okay, so we're going to bring in Lifelink. We're going to bring in Gutshot, Electrickery, and maybe Young Wolf? Not too sure about the Young Wolf. I think that's more for if we want to have a creature to sacrifice to, like, Geth's Verdict over and over. So we need to take out 3 cards. I think we can probably take out the Cartouche, because the opponent is not going to have cards that ask us to sacrifice creatures. Okay, so we have creature. Abundant Growth, not bad. No, this hand is fine. We'll snow-covered Ash Barrens for a plains, play Ledgewalker, go from there. I'm just going to do the Ash Barrens thing now. I think technically it would be correct to do it at the end of the opponent's turn, but this is going to save a little bit of time on our clock and, you know, whatever. Alright, so we play Ledgewalker into Armadillo Cloak and Profit. No blocks. Ooh, Burning Tree Emissary. This could be interesting. Okay, just Nest Invader. It could have been a lot worse there, believe me. Yet, like, the double or triple Burning Tree Emissaries? Wow. Yeah, I think that you got that correct. Okay, so if we attack with a Ledgewalker, they have no blockers for it. We get to attack in for 3. I'm not comfortable actually blocking any of their creatures. They could end up killing our Ledgewalker through tricks. So we'll hit them for 3, we'll gain the 3 life, we'll take whatever's coming for us this turn, and next turn we'll put Ethereal Armor, Rancor, Abundant Growth. We'll just go wild on our auras and start out-racing the opponent. It's very difficult to race a player when they have Lifelink, and even though Armadillo Cloak doesn't technically give our creature Lifelink, it does. Okay, so they hit us for 9. It's a pretty good clock. Rancor. Abundant Growth. Just deciding which land I want to cast the Abundant Growth on. I don't think it really matters. Oh, a Crumbling Vestige. Okay, so we're going to gain as much life as they dealt last turn. And we'll put out a chump blocker for the Nettle Sentinel. Put out the Gladecover Scout, because we're throwing it under the bus. We'll keep the Bogle safe in our hand. Okay, we got there that time. Don't think we want to change anything on the draw. Electrickery is a little bit worse, but I think it's still fine. Good enough, barely. We have creatures, we have auras. A little bit awkward though. We don't have the mana, the color for Armadillo Cloak. Ancestral Mask doesn't do anything yet. But I don't think we can mulligan this. The hand has too much potential. We get a Rancor, it's a good start. Ooh. No, I should have. I definitely should have. You're absolutely right. Take their Rancors, take their Elephant Guides. That was my mistake. So anybody watching this video later, absolutely bring in Standard Bearer in this matchup. 100%. We could actually trade here. And then I play Ledgewalker. But Volt Scourge is going to be able to block the Ledgewalker anyway. I'm really interested in blocking this Pit Skulk. Like, what if they have Forest Pit Skulk in hand? Alright, I'm not going to do it. I think we are better off to keep our Bogle. Okay, Quirion Ranger is quite good for the opponent here. It's going to allow them to start making more mana. Alright, I gotta get rid of this Pit Skulk. Probably should have just killed it last turn. But now they get to untap their Volt Scourge, which can block our Ledgewalker, replay the land, and replay a card. They get Hunger of the Howlpack on their Volt Scourge. That's really good for them. We do get land here, which is a start. So we're going to put the Ancestral Mask on the Ledgewalker, and then we can use Rancor Ram Through to kill the Volt Scourge. Hopefully the opponent will tap out for it. Burning Tree. This could be problematic. Hopefully it's just the one tree. Nope. So this is this is bad news bears for us. Look at that. I mean, that's why you keep a one land hand. Look at what happened there. Good job, opponent. Another Rancor. We're really looking for white mana at this point so that we can get the Armadillo Cloak going. But I think we need to just ram through, kill that Vault Scourge. And we'll pass here. We might use the Ledgewalker to block the Pit Skulk, but I'm not too into that. I think I would rather just take the damage. They have 2 cards in hand. Could quite easily kill our Ledgewalker with a trick, which is why we would want Standard Bearer in the deck. Not that we have white mana anyway. Our creature would have died? Hello, Abirakima. Oh no, Gleeful Sabotage. Game is over. Gut Shot. I mean, that does kill the Quarian Ranger. Yeah, that's true too. Yep. Let's get rid of that Quarian Ranger. Play another Ledgewalker. Put a Rancor on this one. And we're going to use... We should have put the Rancor on this one and then attacked for 1. So that was another small mistake there. Oh, we're dead now. We can block the 2 burning trees. I mean, we have to. Nope. Hunger the Howlpack seals it. Alright, so we made some mistakes there. And that cost us the match. Okay, no lands, must maul. Our only land is Ash Barrens? Not interested. Okay, so we can work with this. We keep Bogle, Abundant Growth. We've got to put 2 cards back. I'm thinking probably second Abundant Growth and Heliod's Pilgrim are what we put back. Opponent with the Forest Utopia Sprawl. Could mean a few things, but it might mean with the mirror match. Let's throw down the Slippery Bogle. It is indeed the mirror. It's funny, I fought more Boogles decks with the Boogles decks than I fought Fairies decks. Where are the Fairies at? Okay, we got a Utopia Sprawl. That will let us get the Armadillo Cloak down next turn. I know, right? What even was that? That's specifically the deck I was looking for. And we played all Fairies and Elves. Okay. Not too bad. We might recover, depending on what leftovers the opponent has. Yes and no. Cannonade is nowhere near as prevalent as Fall from Favor, first off. And Elves has various options they can be using, whereas they used to use Spider Silk Armor to give all their creatures +0/+1 and protect them from Electrickery. Now what they can do is run, I don't unfortunately remember the name of the card, but it says regenerate all your creatures. I think that's it. Wrath and Vigor. So yeah, you switch some slots around. You put Vines of Vastwood in the deck for the Fall from Favor, and you're good to go. Okay, we do get the land, but we only have one white source, so we're not able to put the Ethereal Armor and the Armadillo Cloak on. But this makes our creature a 3/3, so we can attack into their critters. Get some life. Red mana in the main. That's interesting. Yeah, you just have to do something. You have to have some answer. Okay, they're not attacking with their big scout. That's a pseudo win for us. Let's see how big our Bogle gets with Ethereal Armor. 1, 2, 3, 4. It becomes a 7/7, so they bounce. We're going to need something more. Getting there. Got a 10/8, but their creature has 9 power, so we would still lose our Slippery Bogle. Now we're in a standoff. I don't want to lose my creature either. Okay, so they can give this Gladecover Scout +2/+2, but they still trade. It is really scary. Really looking for that, what is the 3 mana aura we're playing called? Give it to me. Oh, this one might be good enough. Yep. Mask. Mask of the Ancients. No blocks. Haha. We got lucky there. Really lucky. Okay, so Standard Bearer, for sure. Natural State, definitely. Ancient Mask. Ancestral. We got there eventually. Reading the card. I know, because it's a trigger. It's not even lifelink. But we could get lifelink, and when we put lifelink and Armadillo Cloak on the same creature, we gain twice the life as the damage it deals. But we already have to take 4 cards out of the deck here, and that's going to be hard enough. Well, I mean, we have 3 pretty easy ones here. Maybe we want to keep... I'm wondering if we want to keep the Ram through for their Standard Bearer. It definitely is. So yeah, we're leaving 2 Ram Throughs in for their Standard Bearer. But we still got to take 4 cards out. Unbridled Growth always comes out. Yeah. And we're on the draw. I think that Electrickery will bring it in on the play, is what we'll do. I was thinking about that. I like Ram Through just a little bit more than Gut Shot. the extra damage that we would be able to deal to the opponent with Ram Through, I think, is worthwhile. So I'd rather keep that than the upside of Gut Shot is that it can do 1 damage to the opponent's face. So those are the scales, as it were, the balance. All right, so I got 2 cards left to take out in 50 seconds to do it. I can take out the Cartouche. They're not asking us to sacrifice, so we'll take that out. Lifelink would have also been an interesting card to bring in. We are hitting each other with large creatures, so having that option is pretty important. Okay, this hand looks pretty good. We are short on lands, but we have Gladecover Scout in natural state, so I want to keep this and hope, fingers crossed, we draw some lands coming up. Okay, opponent mulliganed once and then snap keep. If we hit a land like that, yeah, it's pretty good. We can put the Utopia Sprawl onto the forest next turn, start doing some stuff. Oh yeah, that mask is going to be great. By the way, hello, handsome. Handsome says that Fiery Cannonade is now popularly legal. Where? I haven't seen it. Okay, opponent does not want to trade. This is probably their only creature. We draw Armadillo Cloak. Nice. So we are going to have to be a little bit off on mana here because of the Utopia Sprawl. But I kind of want to natural state the Abundant Growth. We should probably just save the states for their masks. We'll save the states for good spells. In that case, I think I just want to put Rancor on the Scout and pass. I mean, obviously cast Utopia Sprawl. And we want white mana, specifically for the Armadillo Cloak. We might even pass here. No, I think we want to put the Rancor on so that we can start pumping up our dude. Yeah. I think that is definitely accurate, Iburakima. Crown, I was considering it, but like Iburakima says, we really want to keep natural state for the game swinging auras, like the 2 that we have in our hand, and the Ethereal Armor. So yeah, that's the card we want to kill with natural state. We are going to take quite a bit of damage here. Hopefully we draw a land so we can put Armadillo Cloak onto our Scout. Nice. So we get Armadillo Cloak and natural state this turn. I'm just thinking if I want to play the Ancestral Mask this turn. I think I want to play the Armadillo Cloak. Swing before casting the Armadillo Cloak? Seems like a pretty good plan. Yeah, I want to get my life total up. I think that's really important. So I can potentially, if they recast Ancestral Mask, I'll go to 1 and I won't be dead. And Natural State is an instant. They could potentially be playing Counter Magic. I wouldn't put them on it for sure, but I don't think there's any way we get punished for killing the Ancestral Mask on our turn. Alright, handsome. It looks like that's what we did. And it seemed to work out this time. So they have the Heliod's Pilgrim. That's going to go let them go get another mask. No, they get Armadillo Cloak. But little do they know, we have a natural state waiting for them. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. They have no mana up here, so they can't natural state. They have to block. I think, yeah, this is GG. Okay, we got the play. We have a 1-land hand. We have Bogle, we have Unbridled Growth, which gets us different colors of mana. We have double Rancor. We're going to keep this and hope we draw more lands. It's a little bit risky, but we have extra draw with the Unbridled Growth here. So hopefully it'll pan out. Thriving Isle looks like Tron. Chosen color white. That's not something you see very often. Okay, we're just going to use the Rancor here, start getting in for damage. We don't need the Unbridled Growth until we get to 3 mana for Armadillo Cloak. So we can definitely sleep on it. Unbridled Growth doesn't draw a card when it comes into play. You sacrifice it to draw the card. By far the worst of the 3 land auras that we play. Okay, now we know what's going on. They're familiars. We got the land, though. So we can play Rancor, Unbridled Growth. I think we actually want to ram through the Sunscape Familiar so we can get it off the board without any kind of interaction from the opponent. Sunscape Familiar does wicked things if left unchecked. So this really cuts down their mana. Imagine if they had been able to play 3 2-mana spells this turn. Yep, Aburkima, I think that would have been the better play. And then if they had blocked, we would have been able to play the Rancor Unbridled Growth. But I think you're also right that they were not going to block there. They would absolutely just take 3 damage. Okay, they have another one. And we have no way to deal with that. So I think we just play Rancor Unbridled Growth. And then next turn, hopefully, play the Ancestral Mask. We might even want to sacrifice the Unbridled Growth just to try and find that 3rd land. Because Ancestral Mask is going to be so important. We can come to that decision next turn. Alright, opponent is taking their time here. They probably just forgot to hit a skip and walked off. Maybe hit Alt-Tab, because opponent has no mana, and there are very few free things that you can do in Pauper. Okay, opponent's at 9. We have cut down their life total quite a bit, but they have another Sunscape Familiar. Their blue spells cost 2 less now. This is turn 4, so they're going to get a land with Ash Barrens. They get another snow-covered island. And play Seagate Oracle. Okay. So we're probably going to have to sacrifice the Unbridled Growth if we don't draw land. Because we can no longer attack. They can block with Seagate Oracle and kill our Bogle. Let's see what we draw. Ledgewalker. Land, please. I think with no land, we'll probably attack and then play Ledgewalker. We got land. Nice. We attack for lethal. They must block. They'll just block with Seagate, and that'll be it, that. But this is a difficult position we're putting them in. We have a very lethal threat that they are going to have a hard time interacting with. They can draw a lot of cards. That's true. They have a lot of mana with the Sunscape Familiars. They can do a lot of things. And we did lose versus Familiars with our Boogles deck on Tuesday. But we were playing against Satan Raken, who is one of the trophy leaders. What am I doing? Just hit 6. I don't have anything to do this turn. Use the shortcuts. Okay, so they have the Godpharaoh's Faithful here, which is part of an infinite life combo. When you have 2 Sunscape Familiars, Godpharaoh's Faithful, and Archaeomancer, then all you need is Ghostly Flicker, and you gain Unbound Life. Okay, no way to improve our Bogle. We're just going to have to swing. I think they have enough toughness to survive here, unfortunately. But if we kill their Godpharaoh's Faithful, that takes the Unbound Life out of the... that's no longer an option. And Seagate Oracle won't be enough. Okay, take out one of their Sunscape Familiars. That takes out quite a bit of mana. And we put them to 1. Let's put out a Ledgewalker and another Bogle. Yeah, that Ledgewalker could do the that 1 damage that we need. Ephemerate here, not doing very much. Oh, that's pretty cool. I dig it. Like that leap effect. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Ghostly Flicker, I'm pretty sure says permanence you control. Not permanence, but effectively. Yeah, specifically you control. So Standard Bearer is not going to do much there. We can bring in Dispel. Yeah, I don't think we really have too much here that's all that great in the matchup. Yep, not really seeing too much here that I want to bring in, so maybe I'll just bring in the 2 Dispels, so that maybe we can counter a Ghostly Flicker. Oh, Crown. The black card is called Essence Harvest. It's a way to get our giant creature past Tron's Rhinos. Stonehorn Dignitary, that's the card. Is it worth it? I think so. being able to dispel an ephemerate can set them back by quite a bit. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If we see Dignitary, we'll bring in Essence Harvest. But I think the Ram Through is enough of a thing for that. And taking out a Cartouche and our worst land aura is fine for the 2 Dispels. Okay, we have almost the same hand as last time. I'm going to keep it. And hope that we draw lands. Rancor on Gladecover Scout. Ram Through, kill their creature, put Ancestral Mask on Scout. That's the plan. But we need to draw well. Fogs? Who plays Fogs? That makes more sense. What was that card called? Spore Frog? That used to be a really expensive card in this format. Okay, so they have the Azura's Chantry, which is pretty good with Snap to be able to untap it. And this time we did not get as lucky and we're not getting the lands that we need. So our options are either to attack in with Gladecover Scout, trade with Seagate Oracle and play Bogle, or play Rancor and do nothing. I think we trade the Scout for their Oracle and then play another Bogle. Yeah, it's basically the same game, except this time we're on the back foot. Play the Bogle. They searched for a swamp? We are just not drawing lands. Oh well. That was the risk we took when we kept a 1-land hand, huh? So they have another gate. We're just going to have to pass. So yeah, this is an example of what would have happened last game if we hadn't drawn those lands. Oh, really? So they're playing all the familiars. I remember a Nightscape familiar from one of the early iterations of the familiar deck. That was when the deck was playing Temporal Fissure, which was absolutely miserable. Okay, we got Vestige. Nice. So Vestige can put an Ethereal Armor onto the Bogle, and then we can put Rancor onto it too, and then next turn we can ram through. We're going to want to get that Ethereal Armor onto the creature while we have access to any colored mana. Don't know when the next time we'll have access to white mana could be. And if we have any luck, maybe we'll get another land for Ancestral Mask. This is turn 5 by the time we got our second land. Opponent only has 3 cards in hand though. But the spells that they do have access to are going to be very, very cheap. Ooh, wouldn't mind that. I would take another white mana. Ethereal Armor, ram through, seems good. That might actually be best case scenario. So look at that, they tapped a single land to play Deep Analysis. When you see something like that, you just gotta say, look at that. Another one. Their spells are so cheap. Muldrifter would cost those 2 islands and that's it. And we take a damage. Okay, no luck. We're going to hold up ram through, though. It's all we can really do. We just have to hope they draw dead. Nope, they got that Muldrifter. They evoked it, which means they have Flicker or Ephemerate. No, they got Snap. So that's making mana, drawing cards. So they're doing their thing now. They're well and truly in it. Another familiar. Chantry returns Plains, so they have Plains in hand, and Muldrifter. 5 cards in hand, 4 unknown. Another familiar. Okay, so our Bogle does have first strike, so we can definitely attack into this board. There is a question of, should I ram now? They do have access to counter magic, but I think that we want to play the ram and then hold up mana for our Ancestral Mask. And if they counter the ram through, then maybe our Ancestral Mask doesn't get countered. Ooh. Good play, opponent. So they have the Ghostly Flicker, which draws them more cards. And they were able to untap the island as well. So that wasn't too great for us. We get Utopia Sprawl. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, we're not able to take advantage of it this turn because it has to enchant a forest. Makes sense, they're putting a familiar in front of it. They could put 2 familiars in front of it and not take any damage and only lose the 1 familiar. There you go. Good choice, opponent. Oh, no. Yep. Small mistake there. That's me not being as familiar with my deck. One of the new player kind of mistakes you can make. Just not paying attention to how your cards work. Ethereal Armor says that my creature gets more powerful when I have auras in play. Why didn't I play this aura before I attacked? Of course. Alright, so we're pretty toast here. Opponent has Stonehorn Dignitary, God Pharaoh's Faithful. The Ghostly Flicker is in the graveyard. And Abundant Growth. Okay, they have the negate for the Ancestral Mask. Thriving Isle. They have Plains in hand, so they have 2 unknowns. Oh, we haven't lost yet. Look at what's going on here. I mean, yeah. They all die anyway. They weren't able to... They have 2 unknown cards in hand, and both cards weren't good. They could both be lands for all we know. Anyways, they lose their whole board here. Don't know what was in their hand, but guess it was garbage. This hand seems fine. Not great, but definitely fine. We have a pair of hexproof creatures. We have our best aura. We're just looking for some of the in-betweens. We even have 2 colors of mana. Nice, we're playing against the hero deck. This is going to be the old guard versus the new guard. The heroic deck is something that has gained quite a bit of popularity since the printing of Fall from Favor. They are actually quite similar to our deck, but they use other methods of getting protection. Like the Benevolent Bodyguard and Benevolent Blessing. So we get Garden here. I kind of want to play the Garden so we can get an Ancestral Mask out quick. Even though that means we won't be able to play the Ledgewalker, we can play the Gladecover Scout instead. Corduroy instead of pants. These aren't pants, they're corduroys. Not trading my Scout for that Warrior. Not interested in that. Sentinel's Eyes on the Warrior. So while our auras focus on giving us pluses for each aura on the battlefield, theirs are generally doing good things per aura. I think we probably block the 3/3 with a plant here. Double Vigilant. The most vigilant. Really interesting thing about Ancestral Mask, it counts the opponent's enchantments too. Next turn we might even be looking... No, we're not going to want to Rancor Ram Through. Ram Through is going to be pretty bad against the opponent's deck. They have so many ways to give their creatures protection from green. Rancor is really where we're going to want to be at, and Lifelink. Probably just take the 6. I could block 3 of it. I think I'm going to keep the Gladecover Scout for chump blocks next turn. Ram through is an instant. We're going to try and ram this Gladecover Scout through for the final points of damage, which basically, worst case, is going to get the Benevolent Bodyguard off the board. Yeah, we'll attack first. They're going to have to block. This is a lethal attack. Okay, and now we're going to try and ram through. See if we win. We do. Nice. They could have absolutely had something there to stop that, but we got lucky and they didn't. We're going to bring in Standard Bearer. They are going to bring in Standard Bearer. We're going to bring in Gut Shot and Electrickery and Natural State. We're going to bring in all of our cards, just all of them, bring them all in, play a 75 card deck. Let's go. "75 cards when? As soon as I get the courage. I'm too much of a coward to play 75. Besides, our opponent isn't even mill. And do mill decks exist in Pauper? I guess. We were, I guess, sort of playing a mill deck last week in the Fog. Turbo Fog won by mill. We can get rid of the Cartouche of Solidarity. They're not going to be asking us to sacrifice. Actually, now that I think about it, they think they have a card that says target player sacrifices an attacking or blocking creature. So we might have to watch out for that. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I could absolutely take out one Ledgewalker. We are bringing in extra creatures with the Standard Bearer, but I think that you do have the right idea there that you generally don't want to be boarding out creatures. We already are playing a low creature count, so we don't generally board any out. But since I brought 2 in, I'm fine with taking 1 out. Okay, we have 30 seconds left to take 1 card out. Take out a Rancor. Funnily enough, it's actually one of our low impact cards. Okay, we keep this. We have turn 2 Standard Bearer, so we're going for that. Handsome says Cloak over Rancor. Absolutely agree. The lifelink, or pseudo-lifelink, that Cloak grants us is going to be very important. Super helpful guy. Oh, that's interesting. So they give the standard bearer pro white. Oh, wow. I never thought of that, ever. That is so smart. Boom, big brain play. I can't play any of my auras I have in my hand on my creature as pro white. That was so well played. Fortunately, we can block forever. So we'll just keep on blocking this Trailblazer and go from there. Hopefully we'll draw a Bogle in a couple turns. There we go. So I think we'll probably put... So we could put 2 Ethereal Armors on it, or we could put Armadillo Cloak on it. Let's put the 2 Ethereal Armors on it. I mean, either way, we're maximizing our mana. Oh, that's right. No, next turn, we play Armadillo Cloak this turn. The next turn we can play Armadillo Cloak Ethereal Armor. Would that really be better, though? Having the 2 Ethereal Armors is probably just better in any way. But if we play Armadillo Cloak now, we could still play 2 Ethereal Armors next turn. All right. And that would potentially allow us to play Rancor as well, if we draw it. Another Benevolent Bodyguard. But if they give the Centaur pro white to be able to attack past my standard bearer, the Sentinel's eyes will fall off. Trailblazer will still be large. It does have 2+2/+2 counters. Ooh, that was loud. Who is this? XQ. XQ420. Thank you for the follow. Where are we now? I'm going to need to turn that down a little bit. Okay, we got a forest off the top. So we can, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. We could Armadillo Cloak and Ethereal Armor, or we could double Ethereal Armor. I think Ethereal Armor is just going to get more damage through than another Cloak. Do math. Ugh. I'm pretty sure that Ethereal Armor is going to be more than +2/+2, but the secondary Armadillo Cloak will actually give us double lifelink. So let's see here. We're going to have 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 3 and 3 is 6, then 8, 9 total with the Ethereal Armor. With the Armadillo Cloak. No, that's not right, because we have to add 2 for the cloak. Maths. Ugh. Handsome. What are you doing to me? Okay, so 2 Ethereal Armors, that's 6. Plus Armadillo Cloak is 7, 8, plus Bogle, so that is 9. And with a 9 power dude, we're pretty safe to attack. With Armadillo Cloak, we would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that true? How does that work? Okay, no, it would be 8. So yeah, it would be 1 less, but we get more lifelink. Yeah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Hey! How's it going? Nice emotes. We're just about to make a play here. I know it's been a bit of a long wait, but we're almost there. Okay, so opponent has 2 cards in hand. The instant spells they could have would be to give their creature protection from a color or Benevolent Blessing. If they have Benevolent Blessing, they give their creature pro-green and they can block all the damage, but our creature won't die. If they have double protection, it still won't die. So I think we're safe to attack with the Bogle. I don't think that their deck is going to be playing... I made a mistake. Made a huge mistake. They have double cleave. So they get their creature double strike here. And yeah, it's bigger than our creature can deal with. So we've punted this. And our opponent is laughing at us. Yep. We are going to have to play quite a bit faster. The opponent has a lot more time on their clock than we do. But as long as they cannot attack us, we'll just sit here. From the crypt. Thank you. Did the animation not show up this time? Huh. Alright, I'm gonna, I'll check that out later. And of course I got distracted and used some time for my clock, but that's okay. No, it's all good. Okay, that's something. Oops. Turn off auto yields, quick. If they enchant that Skyguard, I want to try and kill it with Ram Through. Okay, so they're giving this thing pro-white, so they'll be able to attack. It knocks the Sentinel's eyes off it. They're going to be able to put the Sentinel's eyes onto the Skyguard, and we're going to ram through it. Nice. And with the bits. All right, all right. 3-leaf clover. Love it. Thank you, everyone, for your generosity. Apparently, I'm going to go and check out what's going on with that. When I get a chance. I thought I set the bit thing to 10 seconds, but it's not sticking around. Hey, all right. The host with the viewers. What's going on? That's pretty impressive. Thank you very much. Where were we? We were in the end step. Okay. Find an Ancestral Mask. We could put the mask on the Standard Bearer. It would be quite big. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get +8/+8. We could put the 2 counters from Cave of Temptation on it. The question is, do we attack with the 11/11? They only have 1 card in hand. I don't think they can kill us unless they have double strike. If they have the double strike thing, we could be hosed. Let's go for it. See if we can kill him in 2 strikes. Laugh at us, will you, opponent?